Well, hello everybody. We said we'd do it, and we're doing it. We're talking about Ace Combat merch today. I'm joined by my lovely co-host Jordan, and we have the artist formerly known as Tomcat171, Mobius Jon, joining us. So, John, why don't you go ahead and say hello real quick?
You right, guys? It's me again. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I can't do that. Oh shit.
It's ya boy. Jordan, you are not only an F5, I guess, air crewman. Is that a correct title, or engineer?
Sure.
But you're also a master modeler who is an Ace Combat fan.
I haven't built anything in a minute now, but that's it's very kind of you to say.
Well, you taught me how to actually make models good. So, yeah, I wanted to have all three of us here talk about the different bits of Ace Combat merch, and a lot of it is model kits.
Right.
And I guess that's probably what we're going to focus on. But early on in the Ace Combat merch scene, I guess, you had a few kits like at Wonderfest. You had like an R101 kit from Ace Combat 3 released. But a lot of really like small time releases. What was it? Hasegawa started putting the official kits out about 10 years ago, was it?
There was Bandai first. There was a Bandai EX model of the ADF-01 Falcon.
Yes, you were correct, and that thing goes for a pretty penny now.
Yeah, it was small. It was only like 1/100 scale.
Right. Can you even get those anymore? Like,
no, I believe so. All the Bandai EX series stuff, I believe it's very limited run. So, speaking of Ace Combat kits, right? They also did, and I know this is like tangentially related to Ace Combat through Project Aces, but they did EX model kits for the Skycrawlers aircraft, the Sanka Mark B, and the Super Prop counter-rotating Skyline.
Skyline, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I actually got a Sanka Mark B set, and that thing was really cool. The contra-rotating props work. You build a gearbox on the inside. It's neat.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, you'll have to send me a picture of that for the video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. John, did you get any of those EX kits back in the day, or?
That, funny enough, was what sparked off my my very unhealthy obsession with trying to collect all this shit. So, yeah, because I found out about it. It must have been, oh god, must have been like 2008, 2009 time, and yeah. Like you were saying, that it's almost impossible to get hold of them now, and I was going to chime in and say your best bet is hoping that somebody doesn't want it and doesn't want theirs and sells it on eBay, and that's how I picked up mine. So I've got mine sitting over there because, unlike Jordan, the Falcon proclaimed master modeler, I'm the total other end of the scale, and I'm a coward. So I just keep these things and hoard them.
Well, hey, 50 years from now, when like there are no Ace Combat kits around, you're gonna have the last examples that are unbuilt.
Maybe.
How much did you pay for your Falcon, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh god, I can't remember. It went into triple digit sterling. I will say that much.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, I think doesn't surprise me.
I think it was around about 100. But for shipping, I'm not too sure. It did come from a Japanese owner. I know that for certain.
Okay, so you actually imported it?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think they ever actually exported those either. So
not in the official sense. No, you just have to hope that third party private sellers just want to get rid of theirs.
Same with the they came out with, I know, different fandom, but same series. Like every once in a while, I want to say like 2 or 3 times a year, once a quarter, someone will put out like a want to buy or like an in search of ad for the Cowboy Bebop Swordfish 2 from the same series.
Yeah,
because that one's actually in 72nd scale, which is a collected scale among aircraft modelers. And there's a lot of aircraft modelers, myself included, that collect 72nd that would, want that kit to go with their 72nd airplanes or their 72nd Ace Combat kits or their 72nd. The Bandai Star Wars models are also in that scale.
Yeah.
So,
those are really nice models too. I actually just I'm working on an X-Wing right now, and it's like accurate to the ILM models, like to the T.
Oh yeah, no, those are gems.
Yeah. So the EX kits, they came out, they made their run, and then Hasegawa, which is one of the, I guess, most vaunted model manufacturers in Japan, they got a licensing deal, I think about 2012, 2013 or so, and
Whoa.
they started manufacturing. Well, they were reprinting kits they already had, but with Ace Combat decals,
Hmm.
Right.
and you really buy those kits for the decals at this point. I mean, they're not different in any sense than like a normal, like, you can get like the Scarface Ace Combat 2, Sukhoi, but you can just buy Hasegawa's SU-33 and then buy decals separately and, like, just make your own. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's about the collectability of the decals, in my opinion, and they usually have like some really cool
Hmm.
bonuses, like additional markings for different squadron aircraft and stuff that pertain to the game.
And
Um,
the instruction booklets, I believe, are like there's several pages of color,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah. There's several
Yeah.
pages of color and lore.
Yeah.
There was so I'll cut in quickly because, funnily
Yeah.
enough, just to add, I literally 2 days ago I had to go and pick up a missed delivery parcel, which was the newest GARM 2 model. But it differs from the previous Hasegawa 1 to 72 GARM 2, in which it's got Ace Combat 7 branding on the box and a different picture. It's pretty much undoubtedly just a remolding of exactly the same model. But I had a quick look inside, and the back of the instructions for that has a small little has like 12 assault record um, entries from
No.
Ace Combat Zero.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You'll have to like scan that or something for us. That's something I definitely would like to see
Yeah,
at some point.
I'm
I
looking to
might.
see if there's anything interesting in the Gollum instruction manual, and
Oh wait, I actually took a picture of it yesterday. I'll put it on the Discord chat once
Oh,
we're done.
yeah, sweet.
Or hell, now actually,
Sure.
whatever.
So yeah, you have a good line of those kits. I mean, they've made probably over a dozen Ace Combat branded kits.
Yeah, so you've got, well, obviously because they're all made under license, they're all going to have the Ace Combat branding on them. Makes them sort of the official kits, but yeah, you run through a few different. Well, you find a few funny little quirks. So one of the most recent ones was they re-released a 1 to 72 F-14A in the War Dog colors,
Hmm.
but they changed absolutely nothing. It's the same box art, it's the same model. I haven't looked inside the newest one yet. I'm pretty sure it's the same instructions. The only thing they changed is the serial code on the outside of the box. So you now have, if I go back to my notes, because I had to catalog all this crap,
right.
you've got, so from, sorry, bear with me. So from 2015, late 2015, you've got SP335, and then the one that came out a few months ago was SP616.
Huh.
Have you noticed that the decal sheets have gotten smaller compared to how big they were when they started making these stuff?
Yes.
That I think that's a shame because, like Falcon said, he used to be able to make like they used to include markings for 4 or 5 different airplanes,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
now it's just one or two.
Actually, matter of fact, this new Galm 2 model that appeared, that has doesn't just have Pixies Modex numbers, it's got ciphers on it as well.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, like when they first released the I think it was the Golem 1 kit. I mean, they had markings for all of the enemy squadrons that you
Hmm.
encounter
Yeah.
in game. So
No,
like
that's no longer the case here. I've got mage and trigger, and that's it.
that's really lame. Oh, wow.
Shrinkflation, though. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, thanks Bidenomics. Yeah, so you basically collect, the Hasegawa kits for like the cool like Ace Combat-y stuff that comes with them.
Yeah.
And on a similar token, I mean, if you are able to find like third-party decals, you can make your own Ace Combat aircraft, no problem.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Um, but You're not going to be able to build any of the fictional super planes unless you get some of the Kotobukiya kits,
Aye.
which is a line of 1/144 scale models. So they're tiny. They're tiny, but they still have a really good amount of detail for being that small. I recently, I say recently, it's almost 10 years ago now, put together the XFA 27 because that is my favorite super plane in the entire franchise.
Mm.
It's a really great little kit. It's and they're easy to put together too. They're all snap fit.
I was going to say, yeah, they're all snap kits, aren't they?
Yep. Do you guys have any of those?
I've got the striker one.
I don't have none of them.
Okay.
Let's say.
Do you have all of them?
I might, but so so you know I like Ace Combat 4, right, Falcon?
Yeah.
And you know I kind of like the XO2, right?
Are you just sitting like not on a computer chair, but just like a stack of XO2 models right now?
I mean, I could probably make a throne out of all the models I've got. They're just sat in the corner of the room. I haven't put any shelves up yet.
Are they all the same Kotobukiya, like XO2?
So, no. So, quick context. This was before Tomcat 171 officially died. I bought 4 of the 4 Modelers edition and the Mihai edition XO2s. So, yes.
8 total?
Yeah, don't pull those faces at me. I can hear them from here.
Hoarder.
The idea was I was going to give some of them away.
Oh, like special giveaway.
I was going to keep 2 of each of them, 1 to keep in the box and 1 to build. Because the 4 Modeler editions, well, we'll get to that in a second. And then the other 2 of each of them, I was gonna see if I could do a giveaway of some sort to some lucky people. I mean, hell, if either of you guys want any of them,
I would love
the
one.
Offer's open,
actually. Yeah, just tell me what I owe you, and I will.
Likewise.
Just the postage, mate. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll give you my deets after the call, man. I totally want. I would put one of those together on stream, probably. That'd be awesome.
Nice.
I would build one on stream with you.
Oh, it'd be a live podcast where we're each like building together. It'll be like old times, dude. So when I lived in California and I would hang out with Jordan, we would go over to either his place or another one of our friends' houses, and we would all just have modeling days. Everybody would bring their paints, and it would be like 6 guys, and we would all just kind of like share paints or glue or whatever, and it was a great time.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, those really were the good old days.
They really were, yeah.
It brings me back. So for a brief period, I was in the Air Cadets, only for like just over a year. But there was a brief time where we had a sort of model making group. There was about 4 or 5 of us, and I remember I did a 1/72 A10. But the things I didn't have like the like airbrushes or anything like that. So the whole thin your paints meme. I kind of fell for that shit.
And the Humbrol paints are thick out of the little pots.
Oh yes, they are.
I've heard over in the UK, like for a lot of people call the act of modeling like building airfix, like how we would say like blowing on a mix. Like is that true?
Yeah, there's still quite a big community for just for scale modeling production.
Okay.
Like they do. Even for a small nation, there's at least 4 or 5 different monthly model making magazine publications that come out. If you go to say a supermarket and to the newspaper section, or just where all the magazines are, there's all sorts. There's more fascination around historical, so warbirds, things like that's usually what people tend to make, because we're talking anorak kind of generation, and even older than me that tend to get into it more, but it's always open, and so there's no qualms with people getting into it at any age. But I mean, I did have a brief fascination with making models. I know I said earlier that I cow away from making the models, but that's because I've already had history of trying to make them well and sucking, but also like I'd always buy little 1:4 scale kits before I knew that, or even before the Ace Combat models were sort of official merchandise. So I'd try and pick up as many as I could see. My mainstay was Revel kits.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking. Oh, I found a Revel SU-47. I'll get that. A MiG 1.44. I'll get that. Tomcat. I'll get that, etc., etc., and it goes on. So, but never painted them. I just put them together and was like, "Huh, that looks cool," and then just put it to the side.
Yeah, that's fine though. I mean, as long as you got something out of it, that's why we do this stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like you ended up building something.
Yeah.
That's more than a lot of people can say, myself included, right? Because I think, like, for me personally, like I'm a total hoarder at this point. I think I have a short stack of models I plan to get to in the near future, and then like a couple hundred stashed away. That again, I have a plan to build each and every single one of them, but just like circumstances of my current living situation and life, and not having like a dedicated workbench, like all these things are kind of getting in the way of me building models.
The consequence of growing old, eh?
Yeah, something like that, huh?
The ripe age of 28.
You're still gonna have a backlog like when you're 68, though. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I have seen your collection. It's very impressive.
It's like, I think what's interesting, what's funny is that like I'll walk into a hobby store, and there was a point where I would just like feel obligated to buy something, but
Oh yeah,
nowadays it's kind of not that anymore, because like my closet in my parents' bedroom is like possibly the best hobby store that I've been to in a minute.
wow. There's something magical about going into a hobby shop and just like actually seeing Ace Combat merch on the walls.
Yeah.
It happened a lot in Taiwan. There's a lot of hobby stores over like in Asia that have Ace Combat stuff.
Yeah,
In the same way that like they would have like Gundam stuff or whatnot.
interesting.
Have you ever been to a hobby shop that had Ace Combat stuff on the walls?
I have.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, well, like when I was living in LA, I mean, there was the
Anime Jungle. That's
Anime
right.
Jungle. Yeah. Anime Jungle had the Kotobukiya stuff. They had the 172 kits. They had a lot of stuff, man. Jungle's great, dude. Like anybody out on the West Coast, go to Anime Jungle. It's a great hobby shop, and their
Shout out
prices are.
if you're out there, also like if you want to see a bunch of cool kits, go to Anime Jungle. And if you look at their prices and they're a little bit high for you, then go to Burbank's House of Hobbies instead. That is definitively, in my opinion, the best hobby store in the Los Angeles area. And if you live there, you would agree with me.
Okay, I don't think I ever made it out to
What?
Burbank.
No.
Yeah,
The consequences of not having a car while you were in LA.
yeah, actually. Yeah, well, I got one now.
Do you have any hobby stores near you now in New York?
There's a couple up in Buffalo actually.
Oh, sick. Okay, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, like one of them shut down recently, and it was really good. It was like a friggin' warehouse.
No.
Yeah, that shut down about 5 years ago or so. But interestingly enough, my dad took me there for like when he was working up at the base at Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
I went up there to go to an air show with him or something, and I was like 3 or something. But he bought one of the huge fuck off like 132 F-117 kits.
Whoa.
Is that the one that your mom ran over?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, it was hanging in our garage, and one day it fell off, and my mom didn't know, and she backed over it and just destroyed the shit out of it.
Yeah, you need to repost that meme that we made for the Christmas special last year of the two clenched fists.
Yeah, yes.
With your mom's Dodge Grand Caravan and the Serbian AA gunners.
Oh man, that's right. Did I actually finish that and put it in the video? I can't remember.
I think you did.
Oh man. Yeah, that was heartbreaking. Yeah, my mom, the Serbian SAM operators.
So in theoretically for her it was invisible, but she killed it anyway.
She didn't know it was invisible. Oh god. Heartbreaking.
Have you guys
Oh,
ever done an F-117 only playthrough for Ace Combat 6?
no.
No, but it's equipped with QAAM, so I'll never touch the fucker. I don't think.
Oh, it's got QAMs in that game. I didn't realize.
That's pretty dope. Have you done a F-117 only playthrough?
One of my friends has, and so I remember like he was basically like live tweeting it when he was doing it, and like the funniest thing was the cutscenes, because like you'll see the cutscenes of like all the jets doing their Ace Combat 6isms, and then you just see a stink bug, which like obviously did not belong in that cutscene.
Yeah. It was like out of place.
I can literally see that happening at the start of Salumna Peak. It does
Yeah,
this, it does this
exactly.
the
Like,
neat
any
the neat
cutscene.
barrel roll into the speed off. It's like F1 Nighthawk can't go that fast.
Or like the opening cutscene of the Invasion of Grace Maria, where you see that badass like afterburner plume shot. It's just like the ass end of an F-117, just kind of like with a little bit of
Exactly.
steam coming out of it.
Just sort of hums the air a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just for the cutscenes, I recommend you guys each try that.
That sounds pretty funny. I might do that on a live stream or something. That sounds amazing. The F-117 is one of my favorite airplanes, so
It's a shame that they've never made that from merch. Unfortunately,
yeah. I mean,
they are very heavily weighted towards particular things.
yes.
So I think, because I did a quick count through at least through my catalog, if you include the egg planes, which I'll get on as well, they've released 10 F-15s of all variants. So we're including Charlies and Mudhens in that. 7 F-14s. And I suppose if you count the Kotobukias, you got 3 ADF-01s, 3 XO2s, 4 ASFX Shindens.
Of course.
Oh, I forgot about those.
That was made to be modeled.
Yeah, the thing is, it's quite interesting that it's the only experimental aircraft from Ace Combat that's been put into 1-72. Every other 1-72 at an up scale is a real aircraft.
That's a good point. Yeah,
that one. Soji Koromori already had an existing relationship with Hasegawa from the Macross kits, so it was really easy for Hasegawa to go ahead and make that.
And that's the only experimental plane that has a master file like you would see for Gundams or Macross fighters.
Yes, so that we pop that down in books, which might come up a little bit later.
Yeah, tangentially, it also includes the CFA-44.
Yeah,
which is kind of a neat thing to see in a master file. For anybody who doesn't know, master files are like official fan-made like technical guides, as though like the aircraft or like mech in question were real. And they've got like little histories, and it's all in Japanese, of course. I mean, you can find some translation guides, but I just like looking at the pictures, and I don't know, they're neat.
There was also the not master file, but they made the Aces at War book too, right?
Yes.
2 of them.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah, there's I don't own either of those. I would love to get a copy at some point, but those had translations though, didn't they?
So they translated the original. So the first one came out in 2011, and that came out with a special Japanese release of Assault Horizon.
Okay.
And then it got translated when it was added to the collector's edition and Strange World editions of Ace Combat 7.
Okay.
With some extra material in it as well, I do believe. Funny thing is, I've got Strange Real editions here. Note the plural. And the collector's edition from Japan, and I haven't opened any of them because I just download the games to my PC and my PS5, and that's how I play them.
So you have 2 copies in your room in boxes.
More than because I actually literally 2 weeks ago I managed to get the 2011 version sent to me from an eBay seller.
Nice.
Oh, nice. That's an interesting thing to package with Assault Horizon.
It is, especially considering it talks about the Strange Real history.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, by the way, the game's not set in any of that. So it's like they carrot and stick you, but they hit you with the stick and then shove the carrot up your ass or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those books are really cool though. I mean, I've seen scans online, but I would love to own at
A
least
hard
one of them. Yeah, like a
copy,
hard
yeah.
copy. Yeah.
There's actually there are shitloads of them for sale on eBay, mate.
Really?
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah. Pretty sure, anyway. Although it depends on where they're selling from.
Yeah.
I can always do a little quick look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking like as we speak.
Yeah, I've got my iPad. So let's see. One from Japan, mostly from Japan,
Shit.
but
They're like
there's
$60,
shitloads.
$40. Yeah.
Yeah, there's shitloads here. There's like, I
Damn,
can see like
that is within my impulse purchase threshold.
Yeah, that's not bad.
shall I sheave Palpatine you? Do it.
Do it.
Just
do it. Just do it.
sheave posting.
So I suppose if we're still technically on models, I guess there's a because the Kotobuki is naturally snap kits, and they at least did the ballsy thing by doing a ton of the experimental Ace Combat aircraft, which before the Bandai EX models and the AFX variants, they hadn't really touched those. Because obviously,
there was a resin kit that came out of the XO2 in 72nd scale, right? Like
Oh
early
yeah,
2000s.
like that was like a Wonderfest.
With that one.
Was that an XO2 one?
Yeah,
yeah.
Ah,
it came out for I think it was a Wonderfest thing, like in 2001.
It might have been. It was official Ace Combat merch.
Well, I mean, anything at Wonderfest has to be officially like licensed.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, part of the deal is like these small time like garage kit makers go to Wonderfest, and by selling at Wonderfest, they basically get a license from the
so they become legitimate.
Yes, so that's why you have like a bunch of these Expert 10 Macross kits that are like officially licensed, but they're made by some dude in a garage.
Okay. That's sort of where my grey line comes in, because if it's not, if it's only sort of official licensed merch by a technicality like that, I'm not entirely sure I count it. But
well, I
then
mean,
again,
it's officially approved by the company. So
yeah, if it's got the label on it, then you can't really get much more black and white than that, can you?
Let's see, what else did Kotobukiya make? They made the ADF 11.
So they did the ADF 11 and the ADFX 10F. So the one that appears as the boss during the McKinsey escort mission. So sort of the predecessor, but they didn't do any full modelers editions of those. So I said I'd come back to it. So the XFA 27, the Morgan, the ADF XO1, the XO2, and the CFA 44, and the Falcon all also re-released in a blank, sort of blank grey skin version for people to just go to town on for their own custom designs, basically.
Oh,
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And I also found something just now that is very interesting. Look at the manufacturer of this Ace Combat 3 R103 kit.
Yeah, it's Hasegawa.
That's a Hasegawa kit. Oh wow, okay.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
and once again, licensed.
They've been in the game doing Ace Combat for longer than 2012, since 2012.
I guess so.
Yeah, I suppose it lends to how dedicated towards and how confident in Ace Combat 3 they must have felt, because
absolutely.
Air Combat and Ace Combat 2 didn't really have much released outside of the games for it at all. They did a little bit of marketing, posters and the like, but they never actually they didn't go as whole hog as they did with 3. It was the first game where they released the soundtrack officially.
Yes,
right.
They did a VHS Mission Zero for it, which even I didn't know about until I started looking at Team Nemo's sort of material and behind the scenes posting with their translation patch.
Yep. Shout outs to Team Nemo.
Yep, again.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's really interesting. They really were like, that was like a full on multimedia project. It wasn't just like a game. They had like a whole, like it had an art book. It had
Yeah.
a little booklet in English that came with the game. That was like world building and lore stuff.
Yeah,
Like
because
you said,
I've got two sort of, well, whether I call them guidebooks specifically, I'm not too sure. I need to have a quick look at this. Where did I
holy
put
shit,
it?
Jordan, that R101 you posted, holy shit!
Oh my god!
I didn't even know Hasagawa made resin models.
I mean, so they include resin parts in a lot of their kits.
Mhm.
So I knew they had the ability to do it, but I wasn't aware that they made full on kits.
Yeah.
Well, that's the sort of thing credit cards are made for, right? See you, lads. No, sorry.
No, John, don't.
It is too late. It is too late, brother.
It's
Yeah.
$300. So yeah, Ace Combat is a multimedia merchandising machine now, man. You've got the games, you've got the books, you've got soundtracks that are being released for every game now since 3.
Right.
Yep.
And what else? No official like TV
Didn't they make
adaptation
a
yet. But...
Alpha Industries MA1 jacket for Ace Combat 7?
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, there's like an official like Ace Combat 7 like jacket if you want to.
Bomber jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's probably like $500 or some shit. Let's see.
Yeah, look up.
Yeah, the
Alpha
bomber
Industries
jacket
Ace Combat.
was sort of related to, I think, their marketing run initially, just sort of post AC7 release. I think because they gave it to a few influencers.
Oh, really?
Don't you have
Yeah.
one?
Nope.
Oh.
Mate, my videos were full of vitriol and they were very unfunny and unimportant. They overlooked me completely. And the thing is, I don't blame them either.
But like, didn't you like in your going away picture or whatever, where you're like staring off into the sunset? Don't you have like some Ace Combat jacket on?
That's a different jacket to the bomber jacket, but yes,
Okay.
because that one was a I forget the exact circumstances around the one because they released that in that black but green as well.
Oh.
But they were sold exclusively in Japan
Right.
for pre-order, so I had to go through a one of those proxy services that puts in a Japanese address and the like for pre-order information, and then when they receive it, they send it to you.
Right.
I see.
But yeah, the brown bomber jacket with the patches and the like. Yeah, that was well, it was given out, like I say, as a sort of exclusive initially, and then I think it did temporarily go on sale.
Okay. Cool.
That's cool. Yeah, so I mean, if you're as hardcore of an Ace Combat fan as we are, man, you can play the games, you can listen to the music, and you can drip out in their clothing.
Play the games, listen to the music, wear the jacket.
Yeah.
Build the models.
Well, I mean, Falcon, you've got a helmet. All you need now is you need one of the flight sticks.
I have the Ace Combat 5 flight stick.
Hey.
I was able to get that like 15 years ago on eBay. Somebody was selling it off like super cheap. And I kind of got it because I was starting to get into PC flight simming and stuff. Because I was playing like Strike Fighters and stuff. And I was hoping that I could use the Hori 2 stick, which is a USB connected stick. I was hoping I could use that on a computer. But it does not have the software to allow it to interact with a computer.
Oh no.
I also ended up getting the Ace Combat 6 flight stick for a while. I had to sell that. That was a pretty sweet little set. And what else? I had.
Didn't they make one for Ace Combat 7?
They did.
There are two different types. Yeah.
So you have like just a repackaged Thrustmaster like T-Flight HOTAS, which is pretty lame. But the Japanese, well, I guess it was the Hori 3, was like a really cool HOTAS setup.
It's a Hori. I can't remember what one. I can't see it from here. It's down in the corner somewhere.
And that one wasn't sold internationally, I don't think.
No, I think that was another Japan release.
Yeah, here, Jordan, I'll
I
show you it.
think.
I think it's like based on like an F-35 stick or something. It looks pretty sweet.
Oh shit! Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Well,
it's got like a
the
Viper
throttle.
throttle.
Yeah, the throttle looks quite similar to some of the previous Ace Combat flight sticks.
Which is interesting because the Hori 2 that you get with Ace Combat 5 is actually a modified Cytec X45.
Yeah,
Right.
Which I used to own.
Yeah, because it's got the bar that comes over the fingers, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
The stick, yeah.
And honestly, Ace Combat is probably best played with a controller, but the stick and throttle, I mean, it's cool. I always
People
enjoyed
want that. Yeah, people
they
want that immersion.
Yeah. Hori also released one for Ace Combat 4, which
Yes.
is all one unit. The throttle's like built into the stick base. It's not as cool, but it's still kind of cool.
Actually, there's a funny thing with the throttle on that one. So there is a rocker arm at the front edge of the throttle, which acts as the yaw control. So it's a lateral, yeah, and it's got a dip in the middle. So in theory, as long as your hand's in the right place, your middle finger is in the dip of the rocker, and then your index and ring fingers are what control the yaw.
Does the stick have twist?
No.
No, it doesn't.
Because remember when a lot of flight sims you would use a twist stick as your rudder?
Yeah.
Like for like the early age of flight sticking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
The Ace Combat 7 Thrustmaster release has that.
Okay.
But the Hori 2, the Hori 1, and I think even the Ace Combat 6 one, I don't think that was even called a Hori stick.
It's just called the Ace Edge.
Yeah, the Ace Edge. That none of those had the twist in them.
Okay.
And they had a few little extra bits chucked in them as well, like small patches.
Oh yeah,
and DVDs as well.
I don't have the DVDs. I only got the stick and the patches. What was on the DVD?
Yeah. I actually can't remember, unfortunately.
That's okay.
I just know that it had a DVD, but yeah, sadly, it was probably just a bundling of trailers or something of the like.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not sure.
Man, if it was like a making of featurette of like Project Aces at JSDF Hyakuri, like, come on, bro.
Oh yeah.
In the Ace Combat 4 instruction manual, they have a little entry about that.
Yeah.
About like recording the audio for the engines and all that. That was really sweet.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. So we got the controllers, we got the jackets.
I mean, there's still a few more models as well.
Yeah.
Because we had they did more. There were more snap kits from a developer called Tommy Tech.
Oh, that's right. They made the Galm F-15.
So you've got both Galm F-15s, Garuda one's Mudhen, Mobius one's F-22 and Phantom, and then the Yellow 13 Su-37. Now, the funny thing is, that's the only time I've seen an Su-37 mentioned as the model, because I haven't opened mine up, and all the Hasegawa Sukhois are 33s, despite, for example, Yellow 13 being an Su-37. Right. So I might just need to open up the Yellow 13 version of the Tommy Tech and see if it does have hinged wings or not.
well, you know why they did that for when they were releasing the Hasegawa Su-33s, right?
Licensing?
Well, no, it's just because
they already had the kits for the Su-33.
Well, yeah, true. That and they're basing them off of their Ace Combat 6 appearances.
Yes.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, in Ace Combat 6, the only Sukhoi you get is a 33.
Oh, okay.
And there's like skins you could download online, and that's what they're going off of.
What the heck?
Yeah,
yeah, because all these models, say bar those Ace Combat 3 resin kits, they all came out. They started coming out about 4 years after Ace Combat 6 had been released.
Oh, yeah. Right, okay.
And they also released like Ace Combat 3 planes like the X-49, which I got, but it's branded as an Ace Combat Infinity product. Same with the XFA-27. It's not an Ace Combat 2 plane, according to the box.
Actually, that was one of the funny things about the ASFX Shinden as well. So they released 3 in quick succession in part of the Creator Works series, relatively close after one another. So what? 2 in 2012, 1 in 2014, and then another one came out the blue around about early last year, and it's still the same model yet again, a bit like those F-14s I mentioned before. They've just
Right.
changed the box art. Looks like potentially an Ace Combat 7 screenshot, or at least something taken from the devs, and they've just slapped Ace Combat 7 branding on it specifically, not just the Ace Combat logo.
Interesting.
Huh.
And that's exactly what they did with this newest Pixie model as well. It doesn't say Ace Combat trademark; it says Ace Combat 7 trademark.
So it's specifically Ace Combat 7.
Yeah.
It's based
Although-
not on Pixie's actual F-15. It is the unlockable skin you
Yeah.
get for the F-15C and Ace
It's
Combat 7 as flown by Trigger.
the Pixie dedication scheme.
Yeah.
That's
So-
funny.
And then Hasegawa, they decided to go a little bit, kawaii chibi, because they made 6 egg plane varieties as well.
Yeah.
So pretty much the same as the Tommy Techs, actually. They did Mobius One's Raptor, but Yellow 13's SU-33, both Garms, and then a Raspberries and War Dog version of the F-14A.
Wasn't there they did the Sakura Blossom and the Pumpkin F-14s also, right?
Yes, those 2 are F-14Ds. Those are Super Cats.
Oh, okay. Right, because it's based off the Ace Combat 6 appearance.
Yep. And those, so the Cherry Blossom one, I still call it the Zipang one, because that's what the Ace is. Because actually, that's another thing about the box art for those two models is the box art uses. Do you remember the start of Ace Combat 5? The dogfight. We have leakers, aircraft type unknown, etc., etc. And you see the radar image, which shows the unknowns and the arrows showing, Heartbreak 1, Edge, Svensson, Baker.
Yeah.
That is the background of those 2 boxes.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Despite the fact that the pumpkin face scheme was only introduced for Halloween in Ace Combat 6.
That's right. Huh.
It's very peculiar.
That is.
But yeah, the Cherry Blossom was, I think, pretty much their first major foray into realizing that they could properly start churning these things out. Because they must have had success with the Ace Combat 3 kits and obviously the Bandai Falcon.
And then they also made the Idolmaster kits, right? The Ace Combat Idolmaster kits.
No.
Did they not? I could have sworn they
No.
did.
I mean, it might have been another one of those cases like that XO2 kit that you mentioned, but
Ace
nothing.
Combat Idolmaster kit. Yeah, maybe I misremembering.
They're Hasegawa. Yeah, I've got it right here.
Oh shit! Okay.
Hasegawa 172 F-14D. Imagine putting the friggin' decals on this thing. Like, oh my goodness. Look at this.
Woo!
So that was based off of a skin from Ace Combat 6, right? From an event that they were doing.
This might actually be one of the Assault Horizon ones.
Oh, okay. Because I know there is I know the whole Idolmaster thing is an Ace Combat tie-in somehow.
Yeah. Well, they're all Namco. So.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so they've got damn, they have a whole line of them. So 172 F-15E Strike Eagle, Idolmaster 2, Kisaragi.
Time for John's credit card to go burr.
Oh yeah. Here you go. Here's the whole collection. And they're not particularly expensive either.
No, that's quite peculiar actually. I didn't even realize.
I remember going on Brit Modeler on the forums at one point, and there was a gentleman who'd bought the Idolmaster version of an airplane and realized that it was inadvertently really nice to build because 1, he was going to paint it anyway, and then 2, whenever he dropped parts, they were really easy to find.
Fair.
he was building I don't know. I think it might have been the Idolmaster edition of the Mirage or the Typhoon or something. But he was I dropped something and I looked down and it was right there.
Awesome.
Oh, I realised the problem here. That I realise why I've missed these. It's because they're branded as Idolmaster 2 models and not Ace Combat models.
Oh.
If you see
Oh,
that, yeah.
yeah, but the designs are based off of the
Yes.
skins
Yeah.
that were in the Ace Combat game.
Interesting.
Yeah, not denying, not denying.
Man, Zoomers these days who like have only started off with Ace Combat 7 will never feel the shame of being smoked by somebody in multiplayer wearing an Idolmaster skin. Just absolutely smoked.
Yeah, I was playing World of Warships with my girlfriend, and I guess they have tie-ins with like Azure Lane or Contact or one of those like ship girl things.
Yeah, one of
And
those,
she was
one of
like,
those
"How
go
come the
fucker
people with
games.
the anime like pictures are always so freaking good?
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works out.
They're the biggest like sweaters at this game. They
Oh
will like
man,
play this game for hours and hours and hours and just destroy you."
the world's sweatiest men.
I think there is one last bit of models
Oh,
that we haven't touched on. So I suppose there's a quick aside that pretty much everything has been in. So we've had outliers like 1 to 100, and then we've had 1 to 144s, and then it was only the start of around about last year that they started bringing out 1 to 48 scale kits.
Whoa,
yes.
what?
There are 3 of those. So you've got Strider 1's Raptor, Mobius 1's Ace Combat 7 VR mode F22 version. So
Because he can't just have his regular Mobius 1.
no, it
Mark.
has to be the IUN version. Although I mean I've got it over there, but I haven't looked in the box to look at the decals. So it could still have ISAF decals. It's
I would
just
be
literally
surprised if it
yeah
doesn't.
yeah on the box it says IUN version.
That's so funny.
And then Strider 2's 15 Charlie.
Wow.
But that's not it. There are metal die-cast models as well.
Really? I didn't know about
Yes.
these.
So a company called JC Wings made 3 type. They made a 14 Alpha Raspberries. They made the 14 Delta Pumpkin Face
What the heck?
and the 15 Charlie Garm 2. Because for some reason, fuck Garm 1, I don't know.
The fact that they picked Pumpkin Face
yeah,
and not
And
Gone
they've-
One is really
and they
funny.
Yeah, that's,
so yeah
damn.
they picked those particular 3, and they did them in 1 to 72 and 144.
Interesting. That's peculiar. That is
A little
absolutely
bit.
peculiar.
Of all the planes in Ace Combat they could have chosen. I guess the pumpkin face is like really popular, like in Japan or something, because like
It has.
it has to
It's
be.
gotta be.
Yeah, it's a
gotta
little bit strange, and they were in a limited run. So I for some reason in the packaging of the 1 to 44 scale versions, sorry 1 to 144, I couldn't find anything regarding the batch. So how many were made? I would assume it's the same as the 1 to 72s, which were 500 each.
Okay.
So I've got 497, 427, and 24. Oh, sorry, 24 of 600 for the pumpkin face 1 to 72.
Christ alive, they only made that many?
Yeah,
Oh.
you pretty much had to be on point with the
Pre-order?
exporter shops. Like
yeah.
the second they came on pre-order, you pretty much had to be in there.
Wow. Damn. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty much covered all the.
I will take some pictures of those
Please do.
for you.
There was also there was an Ace Combat Zero version of the Draken that Hasegawa made. And
Yes,
it
yeah,
really annoyed me because there was a point when the only way that you could get a Hasegawa Draken was by buying the Espada edition of it. Because
Oh.
Hasegawa does a thing where they release all their models in like different waves, right?
Yeah.
So like for this year, they're gonna and like they'll release this boxing of this airplane or so on and so forth. This had to have been around 2016 or 17.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to build a Draken. Kyle remembers this.
Yes.
I was trying to build a Draken as Shin Kazuma's Draken from the Area 88 manga.
Which was it came out beautifully, by the way. Just saying.
And so people who know are laughing because they know that had I waited a year or two, I would have been able to buy Hasugawa's version of the Area 88 manga Draken.
Yeah, because it was
But
released like
Hasugawa
right after you
actually came
finished.
out with it. But so I didn't like know that I didn't have like a crystal ball to see into the future, right? So one, I knew I needed a Hasagawa Draken. Two, I needed Area 88 decals, in which Falcon graciously had provided to me from an F20. And I was like, okay, cool. So how am I going to get a Draken? And the only Draken they had on the market was the Espada Squad. And the Ace Combat kits are a little bit more expensive than the non-Ace Combat versions of those kits. So I think it was like $46 for the Espada Draken. Which,
That's
like the
not-
regular...
That's not cheap for a 172 kit. That's,
Right, especially when like the regular price for like the Hasagawa Draken is probably like $30 or $25 or something.
Yeah.
So I had to pay the premium for, like, I felt like, oh, I would need to pay the premium for the Espada version of this airplane to build this model. And, you know, I think it was like the only other Ace Combat Zero model, right? Besides the Gamma 15s?
They did very recently release a Rot Squadron Typhoon.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, cool.
Still
They
172.
did another Typhoon that was like an Ace Combat 3 Typhoon, right?
That's the one I
Yes.
built, the UPO one, and I actually molded out of putty the actual like proper coffin canopy for it.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
also-
I wasn't gonna put just like a regular friggin' canopy on that. What are you talking about? It'd be
Hey.
nice if they had like a little resin part or something for their Ace. Like they could do a whole line of Ace Combat 3 kit and just like have
Have you
resin
seen
parts.
the Hasagawa like flanker drone and the A10 drone?
What? No?
Dude, nobody asked for this. Hasagawa A10 UAV. My internet's being a little bit slow, so you might be able to find it. But it's an A10C UAV. They just replaced the canopy with a flat coffin-looking thing.
Okay, that's kind of sick, actually.
So yeah, so there's that one, and I believe they have one for the SU-27.
Okay, I might have to build an Ace Combat 3 flanker at some point now.
Yes, look up Hasagawa flanker UAV. You'll find it.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's when I had the original.
Oh
wait,
wow.
no. Yeah, that is my.
That's
I was gonna say, wait, where did you get this picture of my Typhoon? And it's
I forwarded it from when you messaged it to me after the last
Oh, yeah.
podcast. I hacked your computer, buddy.
Oh no, I
that
left
was
my.
really good.
Thank you.
I remember, so on one of our aforementioned modeling days, we built the Blaze F-16, right?
No, it was the Scarface 1 F-16s.
Scarface 1 F-16. Okay.
And you built like edges.
Yeah, right.
And you gave Edge Punished Snake's robot arm for some reason. Punished Edge.
Punished Edge. Just because I think they molded the arm separately, and I was like,
Oh.
I'll just like give it a different color.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird looking at that A10 UAV thing. I just got a major nostalgic flashback to Thunderbirds, because I don't know if you guys saw any of it. Of watching
Gary Anderson?
Thunderbirds. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, like, if you remember the first episode, Trapped in the Skies, you know, the Fire Flash, it's got to land without bringing the landing gear down, and Virgil from Thunderbird 2 brings out an elevator car and 2 subsidiaries, and I just got that vibe because you could see the cabin of the elevator car that Virgil sat in, and then I just loved seeing these things come out of the pod, and the 2 radio controlled cars, they just had a flat spot where Virgil's cabin would have been.
Oh yeah.
I just got a major flashback looking at
Oh,
that
wow.
picture, and I was like, "Oh damn! I can hear the soundtrack in my head now." Yep.
Thunderbirds are go.
I am such a child.
Aren't we all? We're just children with better toys now.
Yeah.
We're just children that have income. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
At least we don't play Warhammer.
Yeah. Jeez.
Uh,
Warhammer. Oh God.
The cure for having money.
Yeah. So we've covered a lot of different merch. Is there any kind of merch that you guys would like to see come, whether it be clothing, models, whatever? Like, what is your ultimate Ace Combat merch item that you would love to see made?
My ultimate Ace Combat merch item would be a 70-second scale, injection molded Ace Combat 4 XO2.
That would be pretty
Yeah.
sweet. You know,
I
that
think I'll
doesn't
just mirror
seem
that. Yeah.
that doesn't seem like that far out of the realm of possibility, given all the Macross kits.
Right, and I just don't know why it hasn't happened. Like the XO2S from Ace Combat 7 is cool, but it's not as sleek as the Ace Combat 4 version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like how the engine housings have that flat top.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
It's just not sleek. And also the canopy's too bulbous. I know it's a 2-seater, but it just looked so much more intimidating with a single seater small canopy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely, like, I know, like, XO2, it's like the like, I don't know, poster child super plane, right? Because like
Yeah.
everyone thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it's a good design, right? And like not having an injection molded kit to go with the 70-second scale collection that I already have just feels like a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
I'd probably mirror you with that, Jordan. I don't have the imagination to think. Do I? No, not really. Yeah, just there.
See,
Although-
I would love an official Ace Combat gaming headset, but it's like in the shape of an HGU 55.
You're thinking out there.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking big brain idea.
Okay. How about Ace Combat? How about Ace Combat Pillow Pet? Right. So it's like an inflate or like a
Like a
stuffed
plushie?
animal. Yeah, like a plushie, like a stuffed animal of like a chibi version of Mobius One's F-22 from the Ace Combat VR level, Ace Combat 7 VR level.
Oh, so it's just basically a plushy version of that egg plane.
Exactly.
So I mean,
Yeah.
they have plush like F-18s that you can get.
Right.
So basically something like this, but boofier, like an actual pillow.
Yeah.
With glider wings.
The aspect ratio of 69.
Dude, I could fuck with that, dude. That's a good idea.
How about like Ace Combat, like Happy Meal toys, like pull back Happy Meal toys?
Oh hell yeah, dude. Or like Corgi, like the Corgi diecast planes.
Maisto Tailwinds, bring it back.
Dude, if Maisto did a deal with Ace Combat, it'd be over, dude. My wallet would be vaporized.
Lego Ace Combat.
Well, it'd have to be
Lego
like Kobe
Ace
or
Combat
something.
S2 tracker of the scene. So it comes with the minifigures of
Pops and
of
Bartlett.
of Pops and Bartlett and the reporter guy.
Yeah.
And then like you open the instruction booklet and it says like 15 years ago there was a war.
So, oh no, not again.
And officially like branded.
Oh, dude, a Nikon F4. Okay.
Oh,
Ace Combat
yeah.
5 edition. So it's like like a film camera that's like the exact kit that the dude carried in Ace Combat.
Oh
5.
yeah.
Okay, that'd be pretty
that would
awesome.
be sick.
I can get behind that.
I know the certificates of authenticity is a like a
Like a crossed out photo.
Either a crossed out photo or a certificate signed by Captain Alan Hamilton.
What if it comes with the negative,
assigning you to the
negative
press
that
corps?
you took from Ace Combat 5.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
So like if you like had like so you could hold them up to the light and like see all those pictures that he snapped in Ace Combat 5.
That'd be cool. How about an Ace Combat tabletop game or like a miniatures game?
I feel like any time that people have tried to translate like air combat to a miniatures game, like the Wings of War / Star Wars X-Wing is kind of like the best iteration of that I've seen.
Yeah. Well, because it's Ace Combat, which doesn't follow like actual air combat rules, it could work because you're like super close in.
Right.
I was thinking,
Like the soon tier fell like barrel roll boost tie interceptor meta can be like yellow 13
yes.
or like Mihai like SU-30 SM breakdancing across the sky.
Breakdancing. God. Well, you could do that. Another idea I had was like, how like in Top Gun, they're like on each other's ass ends when they're supposed to be like miles away.
Yeah.
You could just like make a miniatures game based on like Hollywood movie air combat.
Dude, wait, guys, this would be really funny. So, like how in Wings of like how in Star Wars X-Wing like everything has a different maneuver dial.
Yeah.
Okay. So like the different ships behave differently, right?
Yeah.
So if they made an Ace Combat 5 game, everything shares the same maneuver dial.
Because everything flies the exact fucking same way. You could probably translate like the X-Wing rules into like an Ace Combat game pretty easily. I might try doing that.
That'd be hilarious.
Fuck, we'll do it live, man.
I'm trying to think of any like other cracked Ace Combat merch. I feel like I feel like a nice pair of sneakers would be pretty easy to do.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Get some like Ace Combat Nike Airs or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like Air Forces, like
yeah,
Ace
Air Force.
Combat,
Yeah,
Air
yeah.
Force.
Oh god,
Black Air Force Ones, black like Ocean Air Force Ones.
That'd be sick, dude. Or like, shit, dude. If they put out more of the MA1 jackets, just like, and not charge like $500 for them because they're just not worth that much.
They're like $100, right?
Yeah, they're a stupid amount of money for what they are. Man, I'd be dripping Ace Combat all day. Like, I dude, if I get a tattoo, I'll probably get like an Ocean Air Force roundel like pasted on me somewhere.
Well, I mean, you can get quite a few wearables out and about at the minute. I think there was. I'm not sure if it's still going, but I do believe they teamed up with Amazon to sell quite a few different versions of shirts.
Oh, that's cool.
Huh.
I just need to double check this. Why am I typing them on my computer when I've got the bloody iPad right here? So it might just be because it's a European store. I'm not sure, but yeah, because I have a few. Well, I say a few. I've got two of these. There's oh god, what's it? Some of them you've got official squadron emblems. For the most part, they're just doing things like Nugget. The Nugget mascot.
Yeah. Lame.
But there's some other ones. Let's see. There's one here. So the thing is, this is where trying to collect this stuff goes right out the window because they sell pretty much all these designs as a long sleeve shirt, a t-shirt, a hoodie, things like that. And it's like now that's where I'm not going to bother. But let's see. There's one with a lighthouse design and a waveform of Elise. Sorry, Cosette saying, "Can you hear me?"
Oh, interesting.
Let's see, Erusia Air Force. Oh, that's one I've got. Was this? I'll see if I can link it here, and without it being a total fail. A XO2S.
Are these official merch? Oh
yeah.
Shit, there is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
So I've got one of those with the Wyvern, and then there's one which is just a plain black T-shirt, but with the Mobius 1/18th logo in the top breast. Oh, it's that one there, actually, funnily enough.
Oh, wow, that's super cool.
We may need to have you be our proxy buyer for these.
See, we're in the United States, so we had no idea these existed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, that's right. I think that's why I'm getting messed up, because I did have to act as a proxy for Sly Cooperfan 1. Because the Strange Real editions of AC7. So, I mean,
we should talk about those.
There's actually a little bit of. There's actually more related to the games, just all the games in general that I can talk about. But yeah, the Strange Real edition was a European pre-order exclusive. So yeah, I got another one of those for Sly and shipped that over to him because
cool.
because that had a die-cast model of the Arsenal bird included,
That's right. It did.
as
Yeah.
well as the Aces at War book, the new book, obviously.
How is the
Right.
model quality? Like a die-cast Arsenal bird?
I haven't taken it out of the box.
He legitimately doesn't know.
Johnny doesn't know. Johnny doesn't know.
That's incredible.
Oh,
I'm such a hoarder.
I mean, it's funny because it's like Schrodinger's exclusives, right? Because like
Yeah.
everyone is like, oh, but this exclusive isn't worth the money. It sucks, and you're like, I don't know because I haven't taken it out of the
Yeah,
box.
it might just have paper shreddings and a weight and like a metal weight in it, and I wouldn't know for the better.
yeah, that's true. That's what you should do. Like, for your new channel, if you get one started, like do some unboxings.
Maybe I think I did have the idea because my collection streak came up again because I got 3 of them.
Oh,
One for the 360, one for the PS4, and one for the PC because they're
Oh my God.
they're technically different SKU barcodes. Shut the fuck up.
hell yeah!
And it's out
dude.
on the Nintendo Switch now, so you gotta
Damn
buy
it!
another copy.
Yeah, I knew about that. I haven't ordered one of them yet because, well, it'll be easy to pick up one of them. But yeah, so there was obviously you've got the different regions that games come out in. So you've got your North America, your Europe, and your Japan for the most
Right.
part. So as a result, games came out in not just different box types but different box arts.
Right,
From
'cause it was called Is Combat Squadron Leader, right?
yeah, so that's one example. So yeah,
Yeah.
in Europe, Ace Combat 5 is Squadron Leader, whereas everywhere else it's the Unsung War. And hell, even for the very first game in Japan, it's called Ace Combat, whereas in America and here it's called Air Combat.
Right.
That's right.
I don't know why, but maybe they thought that Ace Combat sounded too violent or something.
I
don't know.
wonder if it was to try to capitalize on Air Combat that was already released as an arcade game.
Possibly, yeah, because I totally forgot about the arcade stalls. I mean, God, just imagine if you get your hands on one of them.
Well, technically, you can consider an arcade cabinet merch, so you got to get one of those too.
Yeah.
Like
Did they ever make a physical version of the Red Book that Nagase writes in?
Not
They do, but
officially.
it's not official. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a FEI product, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the thing is, over so initially you guys will know about this in the States. For some reason, some of the very early PS1 games, I think it was like the first 100 or so PS1 games, they came out with a long box.
Yes.
And funny enough, about 4 months ago, I got the Air Combat version of that.
No shit.
Yeah.
The actual like big DVD.
The long box. It's sitting up there staring at me
That's
judgmentally. Cool. And over here, not only did say we didn't have long boxes in Europe, or at least in the UK, but we did have thick PS1 boxes. They were still the same size as a jewel case, like a typical CD would be in, but around about twice as thick. They were brittle as hell, though, unfortunately. And obviously, depending on how well games sell, they can come out in different versions in those different regions as well. If you get where I'm going with this. So, for example, let's see. So, should I just list off some of this? So,
sure.
Air Combat EU Value Series. So that's one type of printed box art and SKU code. And then there's Air Combat EU Platinum, which I picked up just last month at a retro games fair. And then you got Ace Combat JP, which is in a jewel box with the the Japanese, they love to have the cardboard sleeves, the spine sleeves.
Yeah.
For a lot of their games and CDs, because the soundtracks do that as well. So the ones they have for 3, 4, 5, 0, 6, and 7. And then let's see. So Ace Combat 3 in Europe and America is called Electrosphere. Well, it's called Electrosphere in all of them, sorry. It's just different box arts. And then the Japanese version, I think Team Nemo's website mentions this. it got re-released twice. So there are 3 different variants of that game actually going about. You've got Spine Code 91214-5, which is the best version, I believe it is. So it's sort of their platinum version. So if you see any PS2 game or PS1 game marked as the best, that's sort of their classics.
Right.
But then there was also the original release, which is Spine Serial 2020-1. And funny enough, depending on which of those 2 codes you have on an Ace Combat 3 version that you try to emulate with their patch, it changes which patch file you have to apply to the game. Because they have slightly different mechanics inside the coding, I do believe. And then obviously, yeah, you've got things like, I've just put Ace Combat 4 EU, Ace Combat 4 JP, Ace Combat 4 US, greatest hits version. So at some point, I probably need to try and find Ace Combat 4 from the States, but without the red greatest hits barrier on it.
Oh, okay.
And then moving on to Ace Combat 5, because actually, Falcon, you remember I mentioned this on your Ace Combat 5 stream a few days ago. They went absolutely nuts with the regionalization, the localization in the European theatre.
Yes.
So in the majority of nations in Europe, it was released with an F-14 on the cover with an English title. That's the version I originally got when it first came out.
That's Ace Combat 4, right?
5.
5 had an F4 had an oh yeah right F-14 on the cover. Okay.
Yeah. So in France, that game got released with a Rafale on the cover, but the title was still in English. It still said Squadron Leader.
Okay.
And then in Spain, it had a Typhoon on the front, and one in the background taking off from a carrier, which which in Ace Combat 5 context,
it makes sense because you can do that on the Kestrel.
Yeah.
but the title is in Spanish.
El Ace Combato.
No, it's still just combat, but it says but the subtitle instead of Squadron Leader is Jefe de Escuadron.
that's amazing.
Yeah. Let's see, Ace Combat 5 US, greatest hits version JP. So I've got 2 JP versions of 5, which is the basic and the best. Ace Combat 0, the best, and Ace Combat 6. So there, around the time of Ace Combat 6's release, you had there was a big retail chain called Game. It's still around, but it's massively fallen off the cliff with digital releases and things like that. They had a pre-order exclusive where you got Mud Hens with Mobius Wands and Yellow 13's color schemes as DLC for 6. As far as I'm aware, that was the only time you could get them. I think they might have opened it up later on, like a year down the line when they started releasing the DLCs, but I can't be too sure. You guys might know more about that.
I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, 6 they did some funny stuff because in Japan, in Japan that the Xbox 360 didn't really sell that well.
Right.
Which as a result led to Ace Combat 6's sales being impacted. So what they started to do was shoehorn it into multi-packs of games.
Oh.
So it's either 2 or 3 versions where Ace Combat 6 is bundled with another game. I've got one of them, which is Ace Combat 6 and Lost Planet Colonies. So they just put what they thought were 2 shit-selling games and put them into one just to try and sell off quicker.
Wow.
Damn.
Now the other ones I cannot remember. I think one of them is was it Katamari? That's it.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
What a thing to pack with Ace Combat 6.
I know, it's peculiar, isn't it? It's really weird. And then let's see. I can buy. I suppose I'll go. I'm going through the number games based on what's listed here on my phone. So I suppose Ace Combat 7 came out with its basic versions. The ones that you could just download straight off the stores, for your PC and the like. And then you had the Strange Real editions that we already spoke about. And then they released it as a premium edition which had some of the DLC, if not all of them, I think. I forget. I should have done my research before all this, because it's sitting up there staring at me judgmentally again. And then they released a collector's edition, which was Japanese exclusive and also had the Aces at War book included.
Oh,
How many? So how many versions of the Aces at War book are there?
Just two, but
Okay.
like the
So
the
every
29
boxing gets the same book, basically.
yeah, so the 2019 version is in the Strange Will edition and the collector's edition.
Got it.
How big is the actual book? Is it like kind of like a booklet? That
He doesn't know. He hasn't opened it.
I mean, I'd love to believe it's the same size as the 2011 book. So we're talking maybe, well, I think we're talking a little less than A4, but that I'm not too sure.
Okay.
And hell, so Ace Combat 5 wasn't the only one to do box art changes based on region. You have there are two versions that I have, and I think there's more that they changed the Joint Assault box art for in Europe. So the Raptor is the default one, and then there's a Rafale version as well.
Oh.
And then after that, let's see, you got Ace Combat Assault Horizon. So that came out as a limited edition, and then it came out as an enhanced edition on the PC. And then I showed you this after our last podcast, didn't I, Falcon? So I'll forward it again.
Yeah.
It would appear in Italy alone.
Huh.
Now, don't fully quote me on that. I could be wrong, and I don't mind being wrong with it. They boxed up one of the sorry, what did I call it? The EU limited edition version. They boxed it with a remote controlled Black Hawk helicopter.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's badass. Dude.
And it is called the Helicopter Edition, unsurprisingly enough. They released that for Xbox 360 and PS3. And the Black Hawk does in fact have a shooter squad emblem etched on it.
That's hilarious.
And then it comes naturally with a copy of the game. It comes with a key ring and a pen as well, because that's what's important.
Yeah,
because like that was like in the whole era of like Modern Warfare 2 night vision goggles, right? Like they had to have some sort of
yeah. I still have those Modern Warfare 2 night vision goggles somewhere. I gotta find them.
Oh wow,
those are sweet. I kind of want this RC Blackhawk set, honestly. So here's what's gonna happen. If I ever get this edition, Jordan, I will give you that pen to put in your like flight suit like sleeve pocket.
Okay.
Just so you can like use an official Ace Combat pen like while you're flying
I'll take a photo of it like in the air.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
And then there's a few other little random ones. So they did this iOS app, Assault Horizon Trigger Finger.
Ace Combat XI, right?
And XI, yes.
Oh yes, XI was yes. Trigger Finger was
Falco just 1 always wanted to fly with you.
That's right. He's one of the few voiced protagonists that voices in another game. Because he's in Ace Combat X as like a little wingman dude that shows up.
Literally during Armada, and that's it, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
Ace Combat X is a really fun game.
It is. It's a very good game.
Oh, I love X.
Very underrated.
I like how if you just choose the wrong route, like there is a possibility that you just have a dogfight all the Fenriers with optical camouflage.
Yeah.
And microwave weapons. Yep.
Yeah, so like the game can just be like almost impossible to beat if you're bad.
It's almost like a D&D dungeon master just got fed up of you fucking around off the main line.
Yeah.
And so you get to the end fight and he just goes, you know what, fuck this. You are going to feel pain.
It's so fucked, right? Because like if you like do all the mission tracks the worst way possible, and if you're performing the worst way, you get the hardest boss level. Like, how the fuck is that fair?
Life isn't fair. They should do more branching campaigns like that. That was a really nice feature.
I would love to see some more exploration with branching storylines, because 3 is fantastic.
Yeah.
Japanese 3, sorry, is fantastic. But
I mean, even Western World 3 like has good gameplay.
It's the same
But
game. They just really
yeah.
truncated the story into a bunch of nonsense, but really.
Oh yeah, basically. Yeah.
Let's see. There's
Besides three and X were the ones that really had the branching storylines. I don't think like 5. Yeah, there were branching missions, but that doesn't really count.
mm.
Yeah,
Um,
I think.
Well, I mean,
Were there?
X's branches. They didn't change the story. They just changed the gameplay, and I
yes, they
can
do though. You
I
can get two
re-
different endings.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yes.
get,
Sorry, yes,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah, is it Navarro escapes?
Yeah, one of them is Navarro escapes, and the other one he gets like ripped apart by a crowd,
Yep,
and then
he gets lynch mob. Yeah.
Jeanette from Ace Combat 5 buys a little Santa on a
Yeah.
surfboard.
Because the second, yeah, because like the one he gets Gaddafi'd, he escapes, but the boss level also can change.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I know the one that we just described, that's the hardest one, where you have to dogfight all defenders. They all have optical camouflage. They all have microwave weapons, right?
Yep.
And then I think there's one that you only have to fight one of them, right?
No, what happens is,
Oh, it's
you-
just
it's
a
the Alex
slightly.
squadron.
I think it's a less experienced squadron, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
I think at the end you can have Alect flying Fenrirs, or you can just have random idiots flying Fenrirs. I think
Okay.
yeah. But if you have the random idiots, they have the microwave weaponry.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played through it in a while, actually. I need to. Let's have a look. Oh yes. I suppose one other thing from 6, they because I've got all sorts of different categorizations here. I put in peripherals alongside the flight sticks, the Xbox 360 faceplates.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Because there are 6 of them altogether.
Oh.
I have no idea where
all
where the other 5 came from, because I think one came from a particular one came out of of the Ace Edge box, if I
Right.
remember correctly, and the other 5 I don't have a clue. I mean, I got hold of them, but I don't know.
I think there was one like special like Xbox release that came with it.
Yeah,
Something
maybe.
like that. I don't know.
Because there's, let's see, one's, so I've sort of listed them just by the plane that features the most on them. So there's one which features the tornado the most.
Hmm.
Oh wow.
I was like, hey, here we go.
Hey.
So your Su-33, A-10, and then the other 3 just have different variations of mud hens, basically. I think one
Was Ace Combat 6 the last game that had the tornado?
Yes.
Okay. Because they had the ADF version, right? The
Yeah.
interceptor version.
Yeah, I forgot.
think.
Actually, which one was it? Was it the Wait, was it the ADV?
ADV. Yeah.
I think.
I think
Yeah,
that's what it was called.
yeah, because 5 had the
got all of
F3, the
I think.
F3, the ECR, the GR1,
Yeah.
and the GR4, and Ace Combat 4 had the IDS.
Right. So, because IDS, that's y'all's Mudhen.
That's the IDS. That's the
Basically.
German version, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
German Mudhen, and
Yeah.
then the ECR is the German Growler.
Effectively, yeah, a sort of Growler's cousin once removed, or something like that.
Yeah. And then the F3 is like the air superiority version.
Yes.
Asterisk.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
You know.
Yeah, because it's basically an F4, right? Like,
Yeah, basically.
Because like it's not a dogfighter, so it's not like an F15.
Yeah.
It's like an F4.5.
Let's see what else. What else sort of stuff came up? So I got things in miscellaneous, and these are things that are like wearables or things that were handouts or tiny little things. So there was an official baseball cap for Squadron Leader that I managed to get my hands on.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
I know it's official because you turn the inside out. The label does have copyright Namco on the inside. There's a luggage sling strap that's Ace Combat 7 themed. So it's got.
I love that.
Yeah, it's
That's
actually got its
great.
own little. It's got its own little linen bag, and the sling itself is lots of different squadron emblems.
Huh.
And yeah, you can just clip that onto a bag and use, and yeah, just that's your sling strap there.
Yeah.
So that we were talking about the jackets earlier. That one that I had that I was wearing in that picture that had patches because that's got a Velcro patch on the sleeve, just an open Velcro. So and then they released official patches that you could use on that, and you get let me just double check. So you get a Mobius one, a Raspberries, and a Aquila squadron as well.
Oh, nice.
And then they did other little things. So I don't know where I got this one from, whether that was handed to me at EGX or something. But there's a Ace Combat 7 branded drinks bottle here somewhere. It's like looks a bit like a water bladder, but very small. Pretty much fits in your hand. And then a pin collection as well. So you get the Phoenix emblem, the Garm emblem, the UPEO emblem, Raspberries, Mobius, and Osea. The
Oh,
Osea
that's
roundel
cool.
as well.
I did get my
Where-
hands on that.
Oh,
Where
sorry,
do those
Ocean F22. Sorry, it's an F22 with Ocean markings on it.
Where do those come from?
I can't remember where I got those. I think that was added in with something. Either that
Okay.
or it was just randomly for sale on eBay, and I noticed, and I just noticed, it's official merchandise. I'll get it.
They
Yeah.
also released a pair of Ocean Air Defense Force wings with the American special edition release of Ace Combat 7. Or the pre-order
Yes.
Oh, cool.
bundle. I was able
Yeah.
to get a set of those. Because
Oh,
I was
they've done
intending to cosplay with it, but it's like if they wrote Ace Combat on the wings, and it's like, bro.
You got your Ace Combat wings.
I guess so, man.
Yeah.
I'm
And they've
I'm
started
a
doing
certified
posters
gamer.
as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So on I'll see if I can bring it up somewhere quickly. Because I bought 2 of them because I like the look of them.
Do they do like shot glasses and drinkware? Like that?
No, nothing like that yet.
Okay.
I mean, considering the drinking culture in Japan, you'd think it would be a shoe-in.
Yeah.
Or like if there was like okay, hear me out. Pint glasses from the bar in Ace Combat 4.
Okay, that'd be sick, dude. The Sky Kid bar.
Yeah.
Okay, so I picked up this one, and that. So for those listeners, it's the Exo 2S in 2 varieties.
Oh, that's
with
sweet.
the sort of exploded, the armament layout from
Nice.
top view.
Oh, and the guys are like laying on the side of it
Yeah,
with their toy
and they're
accessories.
just saluting while lying on the floor, and the pilots are sat there pretending they're in the seat sideways. But yeah, they've got a few like that. There's another one there which is a bunch of CFA 44s on a carrier deck, and I picked up one of them as well.
Nice.
Say they're already in frames, but I don't know where to hang them.
Do you
That's the real trick,
have
isn't
a
it?
room with like all of your Ace Combat loot like Scrooge McDuck?
Yep.
Okay.
It's literally this room. It's all behind me again, staring at me very judgmentally. Wondering, why haven't you displayed me yet, bitch? Yeah, I'm just trying to find the other things to fill the holes with.
I feel like in like Ace Combat inflatable Christmas yard decorations. Like, that's
Oh, those would sell like hotcakes.
I'm trying to imagine the most cracked
Dude,
like Ace
Imagine,
Combat merchandise, and I'm just trying to basically think of like Bucky's merchandise
Dude.
and replace it with Ace Combat.
imagine a bounce castle, but it's shaped like megalith.
Oh. Have you ever done any sort of inflatable obstacle course?
No, not since I
Oh,
was like, a kid.
they're so fun. Joe and I did one last year, and it's like a full because you know the obstacle runs like Tough Mudders, Spartan runs, things like that.
Yeah.
It was a little bit like that, but much more toned down, and obviously because they were all inflatables, it was just a far more user friendly experience. But yeah, even as a grown ass adult, I could definitely see myself enjoying crawling through a scaled down megalith tunnel.
Scaled down megalith.
I just, being English, I could just occasionally whisper to myself, "We'll get those panels open. Don't let those pilots die."
Oh man, if I ever do like an Ace Combat 4 project, where I need a voice, you're my guy.
Ace Combat 4, but it's sorry, Tom Hanks Polar Express, but instead of Polar Express, it's Ace Combat 4, and instead of Tom Hanks, it's Tomcat.
Yes.
He just voices every character.
It's really weird that you should mention that. So, as a very quick non sequitur, when I was up in Edinburgh, we were at Waverley Station, and a steam train had pulled in, and it was literally a Polar Express movie experience. I'm not even joking.
That is actually something that Falcon and his fiance would unironically do.
I mean, I think this was the first year it had come to Edinburgh. So, all right, I'll post this quickly for your benefit.
Like, that's definitely something that I can see you and Hellion doing, like, unironically, and 100% be into it.
Yeah, absolutely, I would. We could totally do something like that. That sounds amazing.
A steam train? Whoa! They would dress up for that.
Yeah,
that it was more child oriented. There were a lot of children with parents coming out.
That looks pretty sick.
And actually,
that does look pretty sick.
Yeah, one of the options they said was, you come in your pajamas, because that's what he does.
The immersion,
that's what he
dude.
does. Yeah, that's what he does in the movie. And yeah,
my gosh,
like the interiors of the carriages, I think, are all lit up proper, and they do. I think they do songs as well.
Do you know what kind of a train this is?
Do you know what kind of a train this is, mister?
Anyway, sorry to diverge from that. It was just a little too coincidental, Jordan, that you mentioned that, and I was like, oh fuck, I've got to talk about this quickly.
Yeah, that's fine. Actually, we are kind of running out of tape because StreamYard only allows me to record for 2 hours, and we're 1 hour and 34 minutes, so we should probably get to wrapping up here.
Yeah, I mean, there's one tiny extra that we didn't touch in books, which was that they did in fact make a novel.
Icarus in the Sky.
Icarus in the Sky.
Yeah,
and nothing was spoken about it ever again.
So you know those Osprey like reference books, like those like Aircraft of the Aces. Like, I feel like they're mostly for like modelers, but
yeah.
As far as like what kind of Ace Combat merch would you want? Like Osprey Ace Combat, Aircraft of the Aces, or like Aces of the Yuktobanian, or
that'd be cool.
Or like Ocean F-15 units of the Lighthouse War.
I would collect those.
I would too.
Yeah,
they could just do that with screenshots of the game, and I would still buy it.
Yeah, even if they just make up the lore for half of it, they can make like a comprehensive investigation into, I don't know, the Circum-Pacific War,
or like Northrop F5 units of the Circum-Pacific War, and it's funny because you can cover both sides.
Yeah,
we could just make those as like a fanficky thing.
Well, because isn't everything canonically made by Grunder Industries in Ace Combat?
Yes and no. I don't know. It's bad writing, dude.
Except for when they go, my plane's been Swiss cheesed, which implies the existence of the nation of Switzerland.
Oh yeah.
And we'll go to an Italian bistro.
Oh yeah, because they get a pizza, right? Like, don't they bring pizza in Ace Combat 5?
Well, no. Like, somebody literally says in Ace Combat 7, like, I think it's Longcaster, he says, I know a great Italian bistro we can go to. But that's
really?
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's the end of Mission 11.
So, in the Strange Reel, on the map of the Strange Reel, there's a boot sticking out of somewhere.
It's just Italy. Well, hey, they have the actual like normal real world Great Lakes just like slapped on the Ossia-Belka border.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
The real world Great Lakes are just there.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. There's a lot more connections to the strange real world than meets the eye. So
yeah,
it's like Aurelia and Lizath, that's supposed to be like Argentina and the UK, right?
It's like if Argentina and Australia were fighting each other and they were
Okay.
neighbors.
Hmm.
Well, I guess we'll go to closing thoughts now. Ace Combat merch. It's cool. I want more of it. What do you
Metal
guys think?
Earth Ace Combat metal models.
But Metal Earth doesn't have any markings on. Oh, you mean like an XO2 or something? That'd be sick.
Yeah.
John, anything else?
I
you'd
like
to
it,
add?
and I will never stop.
Yeah, you're pretty much
I will-
single-handedly funding all of the Project Aces related merch.
Ace Combat 8 is funded by this man.
Yeah.
That's what you guys know. Next time you boot up Ace Combat 7, thank him first.
Thank him for his service.